Hi, I'm Kassia with Intuitive Insights. On this channel, we discuss everything to do with the Ascension process. Today, I'm going to be doing a twin flame reading for the sign of Pisces for the month of June. This is going to be for the Pisces Sun, Moon, Venus rising, or the cross watcher of the Pisces. If you don't know all of your different placements, I definitely encourage you to go to a website such as astro.com. Put in your birth information and they'll draw up a chart for you showing you all of your different planetary placements. It can really help to understand the self better when we understand our astrology. This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everybody. Take what fits and leave the rest. There may be certain parts that resonate. None of it may resonate. All of it may resonate. So this is why I say to check out your other sign placements as well. We are doing a contest for the month of June. The video with the most likes, shares, and comments is going to get an additional reading from both myself and Kayla. So I definitely encourage you to share this with all of your fellow Piscean twin flames. And yes, the best of luck to all of you. I absolutely love all of my beautiful Pisces. Your energy is so beautiful. It's so just mystical and intuitive and sensitive and exactly what we need in this world right now. So I do this reading with so much love in my heart for you guys. One of my best friends is a Pisces and I love her more than life itself. So we're doing June Twin Flame, Pisces. June Twin Flame. Pisces, June Twin Flame. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so the first card is what would be the equivalent of, I believe, the Nine of Swords in the traditional deck, which is suffering in silence. And so just a lot of, I'm feeling some isolated energy from this. Sort of you're feeling very isolated and very alone, sort of like there's these mountains in front of her that she can't seem to climb. They feel insurmountable. That's the energy that I'm getting from this. They look insurmountable and she's just sitting there, just kind of staring into the sunset, just sort of wishing and wondering and feeling a little bit hopeless. I feel like you guys, you tried to climb that mountain and you got so exhausted and it felt like you could never ever get to the top. It felt like as soon as you gained some ground, you would just slide back down again. And so eventually you got into this energy of moving on. You either did move on or you needed to move on from your connection and just get a little bit of peace. You needed a little bit of peace. You needed a little bit of serenity. But I feel like this, especially next to the Wisdom card, which would be the Hierophant in the traditional deck, I feel, which is Taurus energy. If you pay attention to those things, it's just the energy. It doesn't necessarily mean the sign, but I will throw them out when I remember to. But it's interesting because it's this woman or man or whoever, gender's fluid here anyway, it's about the energies, like I said, is holding this, it looks like a pocket watch or something. And it's feeling like it's not the right timing. Understanding and knowing that the timing just isn't right. And really having the wisdom to understand divine timing. To understand there were lessons that needed to be learned. I mean, I'm just being drawn to the book in this card. And I'm being drawn to all of the light coming out of it, all of the illumination. It's like a lot of soul lessons were learned during this connection. And one of those lessons that was learned was the importance of moving on and how to do that. And we have the Sacrifice card here as well, which is the Hanged Man in the traditional deck, number 12. And so it's like, yeah, understanding that sometimes we have to love ourselves enough to let people go, right? And this can be true. This can go the other way as well. Sometimes we have to when we really love somebody else, we have to let them go. But also, I'm really feeling for you guys, like when we come into this place of self-love, we start really learning what that means. Then we start realizing that we can't put anybody else before ourselves. And this is definitely for you guys. I mean, you guys have all that beautiful empathetic energy. You're givers, you're nurturers. You understand people, you understand the motives behind people's actions and the wounding and the traumas and the reasons why people do the things they do. And sometimes that can, like all of that kind energy can be taken as weakness. And a big lesson for Pisces is learning how to step out of that role of putting others before the self. And so, like, sacrificing too much, coming out of this energy. So I feel like some of you realize that you sacrificed too much. You kept trying to climb up this mountain and climb up this mountain and climb up this mountain. And they were trying to climb this mountain too, right? And sometimes you fell back down that mountain because you were too busy trying to help other people back up. You were too busy trying to help your partner back up, I think, as well, right? And so you had to learn that lesson. You had to learn what can be sacrificed and what is too important to sacrifice. And your own spiritual health and well-being and your own advancement in life for some of you, whether this be career or whatever this was, eventually became more important and you had to leave. And so I don't typically read reversals, but I think it's really interesting how this card is the only one that came out reversed. So I'm going to leave it. And this is the Love Begins card. So in reverse, that would mean love ending. Or not love ending, because the love never ends, right? I want to correct myself with that. Not love ending, but this chapter of this story ending. This chapter, and this isn't just a chapter in your relationship with your counterpart. This is a huge chapter in your life. This was one of these lessons that you needed to learn, and you did learn it, or you are, for some of you, in the process of learning it right now. And maybe this video will help if you're sort of going through this and you're not really sure what to do, and you're stuck in this place still of trying to climb this mountain and just being really tired, right? That was a karmic lesson for you. That was a lesson that your soul came here to learn, that your soul needed to learn so that you could level up and you could advance. And so you're doing that now. The act of leaving, the act of moving on was necessary in order for you to grow. The act of choosing yourself. Like our twin flame dynamic, it's so hard, right? Because we love this person in a way that we've never loved anybody before, right? And Pisces, you guys are really the masters of unconditional love in the zodiac anyway, right? So for you guys, this is really deep because you feel deeply and you love deeply anyway. And so this was, when you feel that kind of love for somebody, that kind of connection to somebody, to choose yourself over them is the greatest act of self-love that you can possibly have. And so, like, that was a huge milestone for you guys of being able to do that. And it doesn't necessarily mean, like I said, like, this isn't that the love is ending. This is like you practicing love in the deepest form. And this is actually essential for those of you who may be feeling conflicted about this, because you understand that this is your twin flame. You understand that, there's a mission and there's a higher purpose for you guys, and you're worried that you've done something wrong. You haven't. This is exactly where you need to be, because we talk about this all the time, right? Like, our twin flame is a reflection of our own energy. And so if we can't learn to love ourselves, we can never love them, and vice versa. We can never be loved by them. So you guys had to learn how to love yourselves. You had to learn how to choose yourself. And that energy is healing for your counterpart as well. Every time we heal, we help to heal them, because our energy is one, right? Our energy is so connected. And so even in separation, we're helping each other to heal and to grow. And we're also just setting that example, both for our counterpart themselves, and also, I feel, for some of you, for other people in your life who have been watching your journey and are just really amazed and inspired by the fact that you were able to do this and you were able to move on for your own good. So yeah, I'm feeling that. But that's where I think this mental conflict energy comes in, right? is just this place of wondering or worrying if you made the right decision. And so, yeah, this is just confirmation for you guys that you did. And then we have new beginnings on the bottom of the deck, which would be the Fool card. And I'm reading this upright for you guys. I'm reading this as the next chapter of your life that is now starting because you've been able to make this decision and move forward. And even if you're feeling stuck right now, like you won't be, the answers for whatever it is that you need to do next, you hold within yourself. So it's just really going within to find those answers. And you guys absolutely will. You're so connected. You're so intuitive. You're going to be able to do that. Like you might be feeling some of that pain right now, but after that pain releases, you will absolutely be able to move forward. And so honestly, I'm feeling like that's enough as far as the relationship dynamic goes. Just in that reading right there, like I think everybody that needed to get something out of that is going to get something out of that. That was just basically confirmation for you guys that you are on the right path, and the decisions you're making are so important for you right now. Okay. And I'm getting, we're going to pull a couple cards for your counterpart just to see where their energy's at with this situation. They want me to do that for you guys. There's some of you guys that really, like, it'll make you feel better to know that. So we'll do that as well. But you're right where you're supposed to be. You are right on track. This is actually, sometimes it's with anything, right? It's endings and new beginnings, right? Like when we end something, something else has space to begin, and that's absolutely beautiful. And so, yeah, you've just opened the door for so much healing, like with anything, right? When it comes to this kind of stuff, but especially with the twin flame dynamic, like what you see on the outside is not necessarily representative of everything else that's going on. So like it may look bleak on the outside, but that doesn't mean that intense healing isn't taking place. And like you always just know, like if you guys are meant to reunite in this lifetime, you will when the time is right. And I'm thinking of that stopwatch again, and how it also represents, or maybe I said this before, like the divine timing, right? Everything will happen in divine timing. You just have to continue to learn how to trust in yourself. For some of you guys, learning how to trust in yourself is another big lesson that you're learning right now. So energy for the counterpart. Energy for Pisces counterpart. Let's get some energy for them. Energy for the counterpart. And flip these however they go. However you need. Like this could be that could have been your counterpart that I was reading for, and now I'm reading for you, or vice versa. Like it's all very fluid. It's a general reading, but this is what we got for the counterpart. So we got awakening, we got fall, and we got big dreams. And so yeah, this, like you choosing yourself and you leaving and moving on and focusing on your own healing journey for a while is going to be very beneficial for them. This is going to help them to awaken more, because you're not there anymore to hold their hand. You're not there to help pull them up that mountain. They have to figure out how to climb that mountain themselves, and they are going to be inspired to do that. It is going to be a wake-up call when you walk away and you don't enable them anymore, and you force them to really face their shit. And so, yeah, this fall, I don't know. I see the big dreams. It's like it's going, as they're awakening, their own dreams and ambitions are going to start becoming clear. And for those of you who haven't talked about or fully activated your mission yet, like something in this journey is going to activate that within them. They're going to start understanding that they have a mission. They're going to start looking into that mission. Some of them who didn't even understand or know about the twin flame dynamic are going to start looking into that. And they're really just it's going to open them up in a whole bunch of different ways. And there's going to be we have the fall card. So some sort of energy coming in around the fall. Tell me more. Let's see here. Interesting. And then we have the answer is yes on the bottom of the deck. So if somebody was just thinking they had a question that they were asking as I was talking, or at some point during this reading, or just a general question that you were wanting just a quick yes or no answer to, there you go. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna grab these. Let's get more information on this fall card. What does more clarification on the fall card? I feel for some of you guys, they're going to dream about you in the fall. They're in this process of awakening, and they're going to have a dream sometime this fall that causes them to reach back out to you again. But let's get some more information here. I think we have another eclipse happening in the fall too. We have our final eclipse of this lunar cycle happening on the 5th. I definitely advise you guys to check out the solar eclipse video Kayla and I just did, and the lunar eclipse video that we did because they're all connected, these three. But there's another one in the fall as well. And Mars goes retrograde in the fall too, I believe, interestingly enough, which is the masculine planet. So some may be awakening in the fall, some may be reaching out in the fall because of a dream. You may come to them in their dreams. But let's see what else we get. Clarification for fall. Interesting. So we got the 5 of Pentacles, isolated and alone. The 5 of Cups, old wounds. And that's 5-5. Oh, and the 5 of Swords, mind games and control. And this is interesting because we have 555 here, which is the number of changes. We also had some intense energies going on. We did a video on the 5-5 portal as well. But yeah, this is really interesting. The number 5 has a big significance here. And so I feel like, yeah, I don't know as far as what this is clarification for the fall card. So, but I feel like this is just energy in general that's being worked through, which is this energy of all of this past trauma, all of these old wounds, right? All of that shadow material that comes up. So I feel like they're working through a lot of this stuff, or they're going to be needing to. So just in this space of just feeling really like dejected, like and I'm sorry that I'm smiling. It's not because I think that their pain is funny. But just, feeling really dejected and betrayed because you left. And this, I think, for them is bringing up this is important too in their healing process, because it's bringing up for them issues that they have around fear of abandonment, around being alone, really having to face themselves without somebody else present to focus on instead. It's bringing up a lot of that energy for them. And so I'm feeling for some of you, even though they are awakening, in this process of awakening now, this is triggering them to awaken. They may reach out in the fall, and for some of you guys, like, there may still be some residue of this shadow process going on for them. So they may be playing some games. They may sort of be trying to take control of the situation and sort of playing out some of these old unconscious patterns without knowing. And so it's going to be important for some of you to be aware of that when it's going on, and to be aware of what it's triggering for you when it comes to these things as well. For others of them, this is just some of the stuff that they're clearing out, some of the energy that they're clearing out, that they're going to be having to look at. And then we have 19 in illumination and growth on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, for some of them, these are just all the shadow energies that they're going to be working through as a result of this, and energies that are really important for them to work through for their illumination and their growth. And so, yeah, so your test, right, is to remain firm and to remain strong in the face of all of that. To stand by your boundaries, like these boundaries that you've set, this is going to test you, some of you, on how well you can uphold those boundaries, on whether you sink into this lower frequency energy with them again, or whether you stand your ground. Yeah, so that's gonna be a test for some of you. And also, just like, the greatest test of how you're able to hold your boundaries is if you do begin communicating and interacting with them again, and you're able to do that from a place of detachment and compassion and unconditional love without getting sucked into this energy. For, we are mirroring each other, right? So for a lot of you, like, they're working through these issues, but these are also issues that you're working through as well. And so a lot of you, you're going to each be working through these different shadow energies. And there may come some clarification or some communication in the fall. You just want to make sure that these energies aren't still playing out, and that you're able to discuss them openly and honestly when you do come back into communication. Yeah. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, independence, finding your independence, finding your voice, finding your footing, right? The King of Cups, emotional mastery. And the Nine of Wands, trials and tribulations. So yeah, this is going to be a huge learning experience, both in the time you spend apart, and if you do come back into communication at some point, it's going to be a huge learning experience for you guys then as well, of just how you're able to step into your power, how you're able to interact with each other, whether you're able to do that in a healthy way, whether you're able to acknowledge when these energies are coming up and work through those together, and also continue to know when it's time to back off if you need to back off. But yeah, there's going to be for a lot of you a period of separation where you guys have an opportunity to really individually go through these things. And then we have manifestation tools and magician on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. I mean, we could go through this forever. Manifestation tools, and then we got the Tower, which is divine intervention. And then below that, we have satisfaction and wish fulfillment. And the Knight of Cups. And then the Lovers. Yeah. So, yeah. There's definite potential if you're able to really take that time apart to grow. And then to be able, when you do communicate, to be able to be open and honest and hold those firm boundaries and hold each other accountable for each other's bullshit. And just, yeah, really be in that place of open and honest communication when the time comes. But that time apart to really grow is going to be really important for you guys. And so good for you for doing that. That's the hardest thing to do sometimes, is to break out of these toxic cycles when we find ourselves in them, when we realize that, like, we can't come to an understanding together. And we need that space apart, right? Like, we've learned all we can learn in direct communication. And so we go our separate ways for a while. And that can hurt. But, like, the other thing to remember is, like, this is all an illusion, right? So we're all one anyway. But twin flames are especially connected, right? So we are always with each other. There is no such thing as a separation. That's a temporary three-dimensional illusion. There really, truly is no such thing as separation. And for those of you who are feeling really alone and having trouble with this, you can absolutely attempt to communicate with the highest self of your counterpart in the 5D. You can call on their higher self and ask them to come through. And they may do that in dreams, right? Like we saw. But it's also, like, for some of you, like, you're working through issues of codependency. And so it may be best to not even worry so much about that. And I don't know why I wanted to keep shuffling those. And then these same cards fell out, a bunch of the ones that I just pulled, which is wicked funny. So with the Lovers on the top. Yeah. Which is a decision in love. Which is the Twin Flame card in the traditional deck, right? Yeah. So it's still really good energy between you guys. And you're going to find, I think, that even though you are separated, like there's just so much love between the two of you for each other. And when you're able to work through those energies. But right now, it's like you're learning how to focus on self-love, which is so, so, so important. And so, yeah, I want to do some Moonology cards now. Let's get some Moonology cards out here. We got nothing will come of this situation. You are good enough, which is the full moon in Virgo card. And nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. So, yeah. I'm feeling like you understood that nothing was going to come of the situation currently. And so you stepped back because you needed to. Because you knew that you were good enough. You are worthy. You are worth having happiness, right? You deserve that. You deserve all of those good things for yourself. And it's not your responsibility to get those things for other people. Your responsibility right now is to learn how to take care of yourself. And so, like, you really learned that. But nothing is set in stone. Like, don't assume that just because things look a certain way, like we said earlier, like, that doesn't mean that that's the way it's always going to be. Anything is still possible. It's just taking this breather, taking this time to really sort through things and to really learn as much as you can learn about yourselves. Both of you. For you both to learn as much as you can about yourselves. Yeah, and that's what I'm feeling for those. I'm not feeling any of those other cards right now. All right. Yeah, we're going to do Secret Language of Light as well. So we're going to do a card for the feminine. And this can be the masculine and feminine energies within yourself as well. Another key aspect to achieving union eventually with a physical counterpart is we have to be unified within. Like, that's a goal for everyone on this planet, right? Is union of the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. And so you can definitely look at this as your two aspects as well. So energy for the feminine aspect. And we got let your light shine. Go out and be that person that you are meant to be in the world. Shine your beautiful light in the world. Have that come from a place of self-love and knowledge that you are enough and you are worthy. And just know that you bring light to everyone's life that you touch, right? But you can do that without overextending yourself. You can do that just by being who you are. This card I'm feeling for you guys right now is just about really, truly stepping into who you are and being who you are completely and unapologetically. And just allowing your true brilliance, allowing yourself. This is a period of time for the feminine energy of allowing herself to see herself in her most beautiful, vibrant, and brilliant. And to really embrace and step into that energy of authenticity, that energy of empowerment, that pure energy of love, which begins when we learn to love ourselves. That love that we have for ourselves just radiates outward and other people can feel it and other people are inspired by it. And I want to see what else it says about the let your light shine in here. Be authentic. Embrace your uniqueness. Say to yourself, I am so pleased and honored to be me. Embrace the parts of you that may feel a little strange. They feel this way because you resist experiencing the fullness of you. We can all feel a little odd or peculiar at times, longing to be like everyone else and just fit in. But compromise breeds resentment. Locking yourself into the pretense of what others want will strangle your soul and split you in two. Accept yourself, set yourself free from judgment and what you perceive others think about you. Let your soul shine outward and inspire others to connect, embrace, and shine their truth. When we are aligned with our soul, we feel loved and satisfied. We no longer need others to lean on, to fill our perceived voids, or to be different to who they are. Instead, we want to be with others for the pure joy of it. Create new ways toward anything that is of interest to you. Can you feel relief wash over you? You are beautiful. Yes. Yes. And as you allow your light to shine, you're going to, and it's funny, as I was saying that, I saw the manifestation card on the bottom of the deck. You're going to be drawing to you all of the opportunities, all of the connections that are going to continue to fuel your soul and your ascension journey moving forward. And so let's get some cards for the masculine energy now. Some cards for the masculine energy. And so we got alignment. And this is, I'm seeing, it's the heart with the sword, right? So to me, this is like emotion and logic. The masculine energy is learning how to come into alignment, achieve an alignment. This is what he's seeking. This is what he's working towards and learning. An alignment between logic and emotion, between that journey from here to here, right? And really learning, we talk about it all the time, right? Like how to lead from our heart and then let our minds guide us. Like we listen to our hearts and then our minds chart out the plan. Like really mastering that energy, unifying that energy. I was just thinking within and without, like as within, so without. Which doesn't really have to do with this, but that just came into my mind as well. So I think for some masculines, it's also this process of really understanding how their insides are creating their outside reality and how everything is a reflection, right? And they're starting to understand that in the dynamic between the two as well. If we're talking about, outward counterparts, is this as within, so without energy. And just really getting into that. This is like inner union energy right here. The sword, which would represent the masculine, and the heart, which would represent the feminine. And then we have these angelic wings. I mean, this is just a beautiful card. So yeah, working on coming into that alignment. And then we also have insight. And so the insights that we receive when we come into this alignment, when we're in that place where we know when to utilize our minds and our logic, and we also know when to go within and utilize our intuition and utilize our heart. And that heart is the gateway that opens up this insight, right? It's the gateway that connects us to the spiritual realms, that connects us to our higher selves. And so really becoming connected into all of that energy. And he's just going to be gaining some massive insights. The masculine energy is going to be gaining some massive insights into himself, his motivations, his patterns of behavior, how those are reflected, right, as within, so without, in his external circumstances and in his relationships, and really seeing that connection. And he may experience other people who help to illustrate this connection if he has trouble seeing that. And understand that if you hear about that going on, if this is for feminines hearing about their masculine and separation from their masculine, if you find out that your masculine is seeing somebody else or something like that, just understand that that's an important part of his soul journey. He needs to do that in order to learn these lessons, in order to gain this insight. And so that's not a reflection of your connection. That's just a reflection of his need to understand. And like, thank God that he doesn't have to do any more of that with you, right? Like sometimes it's actually a blessing when a karmic soulmate or a soulmate or somebody else steps in and helps our counterpart to go through some of those lessons so that we don't have to incur any more of that heaviness or any more of that karma. We can let them clear that out. Sometimes there is karma that they need to clear up. It's like these relationships that we have with other people are very important for our evolution. And this is part of that unconditional love. And when we start elevating our vibration and get this higher perspective of things, right? And we start to understand this kind of stuff. And we start to see, like, we're redefining relationships and we're redefining love and what all of that means. And we can allow people to go through what they need to go through, just understanding that it's about the soul lessons and the soul growth. And if somebody else is providing someone with an experience that I cannot provide for whatever reason, because I'm not meant to, because it's just not the dynamic that we have, whatever the reason, like, thank God that somebody is able to do that for them. And that's absolutely beautiful. And so just really being able to look at it from that perspective and understand it from that perspective and know that it doesn't mean any less of you if that's what's happening for them. And just really keeping the focus on letting your light shine and staying in your own power and your own growth and your own journey, and not worrying or allowing yourself to be hurt by that. And whatever is meant to be will always be, right? What's meant for me will always be for me. But sometimes what's meant for me needs to be fine-tuned a little bit. That energy needs to be refined before it can be meant for me. Like right now, you're mirroring each other in some ways, but also for a lot of you, like you're just not a vibrational match right now. And so your counterpart needs to go through what they need to go through to become a vibrational match, and so do you. And that's absolutely okay, and that's actually really, really beautiful. So I wanted to put that out there. And then we're just gonna get one advice card for the feminine. One advice card for the feminine moving forward. And we got the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits Soul Tribe. So this is just what we were talking about with the manifestation, right? Is as you're letting your light shine, you're going to be attracting your soul tribe. So many beautiful things are going to be coming into your life during this period. It's going to be absolutely incredible and absolutely amazing. And you may find yourself stepping into relationships that help to refine your energy and help to teach you things and help you to grow. And maybe for some of you, even help you to develop more of your understanding and your capacity to allow yourselves to be loved and to see what an even give and take looks like and feels like. And so that's beautiful as well. And don't hold yourselves back from that if that's part of your experience and what is beneficial for you to go through right now. Yeah. And your intuition is just strengthening. Like you're really coming into your own, and everything is coming together. The universe is conspiring to give you so many blessings, and there's so much growth and so much goodness coming your way. So just really embrace it. Know that you're worthy of that, and just continue to be your beautiful, amazing selves. And all of that is going to come in for you. And when it comes in, just embrace it. Just accept it. Just say yes to it. Say yes to the new. Say yes to the unique, the eccentric, all of that stuff. Say yes to yourself, and say no to others when you need to say no to others. But say yes. Absolutely, absolutely say yes to yourself. And then advice for the masculine. We got share your voice. Come out of the cave. And then we got persecution and expression. So this is where we talk about the logic and the heart and the mind joining, right? And this process of alignment that's coming through. And so part of that alignment is for the masculine, is going to be learning how to speak his truth. It's going to be learning how to step into his power, but in a way that's compassionate and honest and with integrity. And he's really there's going to be some challenging circumstances that really cause him to have to step into his power. There's going to be things that are illuminated to him, aspects of himself that are going to be called into question for his own growth. And it's just going to be really important for him to be communicative, for the masculine to, he's to learn how to speak and learn how to share his truth. To learn what his truth is, right? To come into that alignment, to get that insight and that understanding. And then once he comes into this alignment and he has this insight, to share that insight. There's going to be people that need to hear, for a lot of you masculines, there's going to be people that need to hear what it is that you have to say. So it's just learning how to say that in the way that it will be received and it will be understood and it will be heard. As you go through some of these situations that teach you about yourself, and you start growing in your own power, right? Like there are going to be times where you may feel as though people are against you. You may feel like you're being misunderstood. And it's all about just sharing your own truth. Just sharing your own truth and knowing that like everybody's truth is subjective, right? So everybody else's truth isn't going to be your truth. So you can understand and respect that somebody else has a different truth while still sharing yours and honoring yours. And I'm just being really drawn to these pyramids here. Yeah. So I feel for some of you too, you guys are going to be healing, and this is happening. We bring this up a lot because this is happening, and an awakening on the bottom of the deck again, which is awesome. Awakening, energetic upgrades, integration. So you guys are going through all of that right now as well. But yeah, I'm feeling for some of you, you're also going to be integrating past life energy, soul fragments, soul energy from past lifetimes. These are going to do with lifetimes that are represented. I'm seeing not only the pyramids, but also other different wonders of the world, right? So different, like, look up, like, what is it, like the 7 wonders of the world, the places where these monuments were built, right? For some of you, it's ancient Egypt. For some of you, it's other places as well. Atlantis, yeah, just a lot of these different places. So you're going to be integrating those soul fragments, and that fear of persecution is going to come up because in some of these lifetimes, some of you guys were persecuted. And so for sharing your voice, for sharing your gifts and your talents. And so this is going to be a shadow energy that might come up for you guys that needs to be healed and integrated. So if you're starting to feel as though you're being persecuted or you're being judged or ridiculed, and you're getting really sensitive to that, that may be triggering you because of past life issues that are coming up to be healed. So it's all just like empowering yourselves and standing up for yourselves and continuing to also, just like the feminine, like, let your light shine. Be who you are. Stand in the truth of that. And continue to express yourself and continue to learn and to grow and to share what it is that you're wanting and needing to share. All right. So I hope you guys found this reading helpful. If you liked it, definitely give this video a like. Comment if it resonated. Remember, the video with the most likes, shares, and comments will get a bonus video from both myself and Kayla for the month of June. If you're feeling called to donate, our information for that is in the box below. Kayla and I both do personal readings, so I'll stutter there. We both do personal readings and remote energy healings, which are incredibly effective, incredibly powerful. Don't think that distance plays any factor when it comes to energy. The healing sessions that we provide are just absolutely phenomenal. So, and they're just such a huge help when it comes to everything to do with the Ascension. So I encourage you guys to reach out for those services if you feel guided to. We both have our individual contact information in the description box below. Reach out to whichever one of us you resonate with, and we can set up a reading or a healing for you guys. And I want to thank you all for being with us. As I said, I love all my beautiful, beautiful Pisces. And this is an intense period of growth and transformation for you guys. Even though you are doing this separately, like, that is so beautiful. And you guys, you've got this. It's going to be, there's still just so much exciting growth and expansion going on. So congratulations for really stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing what you needed to do for yourselves, and really taking that leap and taking that plunge into this beautiful journey of self-love and manifestation and all of that. Like, you are so, so worthy. And do not ever let anyone tell you otherwise. And more importantly than that, don't ever tell yourself otherwise. I love you all. I'll talk to you soon.